Hey y'all. Welcome to the THORSDAY SESHJUAN podcast, Jack Dub. We're here on the Can Curate Discord on GHRO radio. Tonight we have a guest, and guest is Pretty Nice Video. And we'll be talking with her, about her video making, how she goes about it, and, how she smokes the good stuff. Thank you, Grim. That's right, everyone. Happy THORSDAY. It's like a Pop-Tart kitty cat riding a rainbow. It is glorious for sure. That's right, folks. Come here and participate in the chat room. We have a good time here on the Szechuan. Representing cannabis enthusiasts from Smoke.io, and we also have cmet.com. Plenty of people posting about cannabis on there as well. Got a pretty full room tonight. We got Blunt Smasher in the house, EM3DI. We got Amy Mayo just popped in. We got KOH in the now, Grim. Groovy Marv. Pretty nice videos here as well. We got RCQ and RYOB. So everyone in the audience, you post on Smoke.io, Steemit.com, a little bit of both. Go ahead and type in the chat if you like. Yeah, so we have, like I was saying, we have a guest tonight, and a little bit of legalization news as well. Because we all know that cannabis should not be legal, and people should not be going to jail for it. And there's a lot of people that can benefit from medical uses for it, and pleasure as well, of course. It's a plant goes from the ground, and it's a matter of liberty. Government shouldn't be telling people what they can and can't do with their own body, no doubt. And especially shouldn't be locking them up for it. For sure. Actually, that's one of the news reports I was looking at is they were talking about as far as next year legalization in the different states and in the U.S. and other countries in general, and basically with quite a few were obviously the states a lot more of them getting on board. Last count was I think they're almost just about up to 11 now. 11 states legalized, and Washington D.C. as well. Yeah, basically they're talking about how the marijuana smuggling across the border has decreased, by about 70%. A lot of the states now, they've legalized for medical use and for recreational as well. And they're talking about in other countries, what happened when, other drugs. The main place that they started, they found that actually the teen use of drugs went, of course, the violent, deaths went down, and the, overdose from the, illicit drugs out there went down as well. And so it's, of course, the violent. Yeah, so, we'll see what the states do, of course. But the Fed at least has to get on board soon and, legalize marijuana. They have recently legalized, from what I understand, Feds for CBD for medical use. They've legalized that, so that's good news. They've also lifted the ban on industrial hemp farming. So a lot of farmers in different states, they're grow hemp as a more profitable crop than the soy and corn that they have been growing. So that's that's good news as well. The hemp is really rich in the CBD oils, and in the cannabis you have THC, the part that gets you high, and then you'll have the CBD oils in there as well, and they're really good for your body, like to the point your body already has built-in system and receptors to, and it produces its own form of CBD kind of oil compound, and it helps a lot with well-being and anti-inflammatory, and it does seem like a lot of ailments have to do with inflammation. And so the CBD oil doesn't get you high; it just it has more of a relaxing kind of effect than a lot of the health benefits. And so the hemp, it's rich in the CBD oil, not so much the THC, but a lot of CBD. I mean, the THC has its benefits as well. Don't get me wrong, but the CBD is good, especially too, because it doesn't get you high. So people, maybe using medical cannabis for, pain treatment, things like that. If they have to drive or go to work, then it could be a possible alternative for them where they could, still be able to work just fine and at the same time, be relieved of some pain or other things they might have. Yeah, it helps with CBD oil. Actually, that was the case that made it first legal in one of the states for medical CBD, and that had to do with I think it was a girl that was having seizures, and the CBD oil really helped control the seizures and keep the numbers down on those. Actually, in Idaho, there's one family that's they're hoping for medical cannabis legalization because they do have the CBD legalization there now, and with their son it helps with his seizures, but it's not quite. They're having to give him more and more, so they're wanting to the medical cannabis to be legal, so we can try that and see if that help control the seizures a little more. So there are it's not just the CBD oils that are beneficial potentially. So there's been a lot of work being done on that. Yeah, so it's good that the Fed's on board with CBD. There's companies that make CBD products. I know out in California last week there's that news report, and their CBD oil they had to import from Europe because they weren't allowed to grow hemp in the States, but they can now. So that's a good move on that part. Gonna go ahead and I guess play one of the news reports here. This one is the parents of the son suffering from seizures. So I can go ahead and give this a spin. Let's see if Rhythm Bot's going to work for me here.
Will medical cannabis be legalized in Tennessee this year? Well, one state lawmaker has already said he plans to bring the issue up once again this session. And as News Channel 5's Kyle Horan learned today, one local family hopes legislators can make it happen in 2019.
Oh, he's the shark right now. Okay.
Yeah.
This is one of TJ Ramsey.
Yeah, sorry about that. That wasn't Idaho, it was Tennessee. I'll get this report playing again here.
Favorite things. Playing video games. When he plays, it's no worries. Just him and his characters.
Do you have a favorite superhero?
Yeah.
What's your favorite superhero?
Sure.
But TJ's reality can be hard sometimes. And for his parents, living with a 7-year-old son who has multiple seizures a day, whose condition, polymicrogyria, keeps him from living life to the fullest, is difficult.
What happens there is instead of the brain developing fully, it only partially develops. So we have many small folds in his case, parietal region and occipital lobe. Those areas are very susceptible to seizure anyway.
And he does have them. According to his mother, Holly Ramsey, he used to have about 20 a day.
This is the CBD oil that he takes right now.
Then he started taking CBD oil, and that dropped him down to just 2.
Nothing helped until we did CBD oil. The problem is that as he's gotten older, CBD oil alone isn't enough to control his seizures. So now we're back up to about 7 seizures a day, and we're back on another anti-epileptic drug.
And if you ask TJ, even he says it helps.
Does mommy give you medicine?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's it taste like?
Yeah.
Ramsey thinks the next logical step is to try medical cannabis. One problem, though.
Yeah, so poor little guy. But it's amazing though that the CBD helps control the seizures thus far for him. Because the CBD does not have harmful side effects. It's no one's ever been harmed from CBD. I mean, no one's died. I mean, no one's been severely harmed from the CBD oils. So it's a really safe alternative to prescription drugs if it helps someone with whatever ailment they're having. I'm gonna go ahead and play the rest of this report here. This is where they start talking about how they're hoping for cannabis medical legalization in Tennessee.
Not legal in Tennessee.
So THC is one of the components of the plant where we discovered can help children with strong epilepsy.
Ramsey says she plans to contact state lawmakers to urge them to pass a law to legalize medical cannabis in 2019, so she and others like her can try to help their kids.
In our circles, we've all been with bated breath waiting to see if we could get this passed so that our children can live more full lives.
Kyle Horan, News Channel 5.
State Senator Steve Dickerson, who is a doctor, said he already plans to bring forth a medical cannabis bill. However, Governor-elect Bill Lee says he believes the state should focus.
Excellent. Well, Dickerson, we appreciate you, buddy. let's get that legalized there for sure. Yeah, and the Idaho, what I was talking about with that is there's a news report about Idaho, and I basically they're finding every state around them they've legalized either recreational or medicinal marijuana. So they come to the realization that they might as well get on board and keep people from jumping the state borders. I'm gonna go ahead and play some of this report. Yeah, this one's oh, and unfortunately they're looking at a 2020 ballot initiative. They're kind of getting behind the curve on that one. Let's go ahead and play a tiny bit of this one.
From today, the 2019 legislative session kicks off at the Idaho State House. And today, one group wasted no time on staging the first demonstration of the year on the Capitol steps. Joe Paris has a look at today's rally put on by Legalize Idaho. Joe and Moms for Marijuana.
Kim, the legalization of marijuana, it's always a talker ahead of the legislative session. This year, no exception. Here in the Northwest, Idaho is almost completely surrounded by states that have some form of legal marijuana, either recreational or medical. And marijuana advocates today, they took time to call for legalization, but there are still plenty of people in the Gem State that think it's a bad idea.
We are here today to protest Idaho's very harmful and outdated marijuana laws.
Every New Year's Day, this group from Legalize Idaho and Idaho Moms for Marijuana kicks off the year with a protest. Sarah Frank drove from Oregon to be part of this event. She says she lives there in exile dealing with a medical condition because her home state of
Idaho Moms for Marijuana. Yeah, I like that. I like people getting involved and letting the government know what they think. They think about how much control they should have over their lives and their pursuit for health and happiness.
Idaho hasn't legalized marijuana.
I drove an hour and a half to be here to protest because I want to come home.
To send their message, Frank and other protesters gathered items that are legal in Idaho that they say are more dangerous than marijuana. Items like alcohol, tobacco, and donuts.
Marijuana is safer than every single thing you see here, but these are all legal in Idaho, but marijuana is not.
Protesters also officially announced that they...
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those donuts, no doubt. You get the diabetes for sure. Yeah, donuts. Funny thing, Krispy Kreme donuts. I think I've told some people the story before. But I was living down in New Mexico for a little while, and Albuquerque, and they had a Krispy Kreme donuts there. Actually, the first one I ever seen, really. It's all right, it's a glazed donut. It's cool. I like glazed donuts. But anyways, the police there got in trouble in Albuquerque because they landed the police chopper in a a parking lot across from the Krispy Kremes. They went and got donuts and then flew off. So they got in big shit. Actually, go ahead. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, look it up online. I Googled it last time just to see if they had the news report, and they do. Albuquerque police, Krispy Kreme. That's just their egg donuts. They're bad news. All right, I'm going to play, before we have a guest on, I'm going to go ahead and play one more news report. This one is from Entrepreneur. And, a lot of people in the business world getting interested in legalization. It's big money. They got to keep on top of it. And basically this one's talking about a little bit about the feds and how they legalized the CBD oils, which is the good news. I'll go ahead and play a little bit of this. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I got to unpause it. Yeah, thanks, KOH. You just put up the link to the Krispy Kreme's donut caper with the police shopper. Oh, yeah, they got in trouble for that. What were they thinking, Like, especially donuts of all things, they're stepping right into that one.
We'll be seeking a new marijuana legalization ballot initiative aimed for 2020.
Skip this.
In fact,
Hey there, it's Conrad, your local can evangelist here. 2018 was a huge year for weed. Let's take a look back and see what we can remember. It's your year in weed. Legalization was a big ticket in 2018 and will probably be again in 2019. Domestically, California, Massachusetts, Vermont, Missouri, Utah, and Michigan all legalized medical and/or recreational adult use. Internationally, Canada was the big story as they federally legalized cannabis across the entire country. CBD was all the buzz this year as people flocked to the products containing the cannabinoid and companies started putting it in everything. But the biggest news in CBD was the FDA approval of Epidiolex, a CBD medication aimed at preventing seizures. Last but definitely not least, 2018 marked the launch of GreenEntrepreneur.com, Entrepreneur Magazine and .com's latest platform and resource for all things cannabis. Want to keep up with all of next year's cannabis trends? Make sure to stay tuned to GreenEntrepreneur.com and look out for the Week in Weed and some fun new content. I'll see you next year.
All right, good news. Good news for cannabis and CBD. Well, CBD legalization federally in this case. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and bring on our guest if she's ready. We have a pretty nice video in the audience, and if she unmutes herself, hopefully John or some of the other, or Grim or someone's giving her the credentials to talk.
Hola.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Excellent. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so actually, first heard about you. I guess it was Tuesday. This past Tuesday at right here on GHRO on Smash. It's a Ace on Intrigue show. It's I think it's on at 7 p.m. I mean 6 p.m. Eastern now. It seemed to come on at 6 this past time. I'll have to get that verified. If Grim or someone in the audience can let me know that time, I'll pass along. Okay, so anyways, so where do you live at approximately?
I live in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, okay. Excellent. That's exciting. It's leaving Las Vegas. You ever seen that movie?
You know, the whole time it literally was like I moved here in 2012, and it seemed like I started getting ill in 2014. And those first 2 years were so hard on me for getting work and everything like that, that I didn't have any fun. I didn't get to have any fun here. It was work, then get sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
I'm kind of lucky, I think, because in that time, I still managed to rack up a fake DUI. That was hilarious. I beat it, though.
Oh, good.
Fuckers.
No doubt.
Sorry, I hate fucking cops, man.
So much stress from. I know I'm getting my. I haven't driven for a while, just because where I was living closer to the city, so I was taking a lot of public transport. And when I came over here to Canada, I never got my license renewed. I'm gonna get that renewed in about a month or so, and I'll start driving again.
Yeah,
much stress.
I couldn't drive nowhere.
Yeah, so much stress, and like now too, they'll be checking for, cannabis intoxication.
Oh my gosh, I can only imagine. I'm so happy I don't drive now. You know what the cop did? He fucking counted. He counted my Valium to see if I took my one for the day, and I did because I got in a car accident. But I had proof that it was my prescription, that I had that prescription for years, and that, it says, like, on the side, it says, do not, whatever, until da-da-da-da-da. And my lawyer was O.J. Simpson's lawyer, that guy, Osvaldo Fumo.
Really? No,
and, yeah, because I didn't want because that would be my second DUI. Damn, if I was going to jail if I was going to get another DUI that was fake. My real one was enough.
Yeah, well, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I won't be able to smoke until I've done all my running around for the day. There's no way. I mean, even just alone.
That's how I am.
Anyways.
But fuck yeah. Who wants to drive when they smoke anyways? Most of the time, pot smokers, they don't have to think about that situation because naturally, it's like we know when to smoke and because we're gonna chill. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna eat. We're gonna watch some TV. We're gonna. And if we drive somewhere, look at KOED. Look at you smoking and driving. And that's why you're always in trouble, mister.
Well, I'll miss mainly the music, because if you got a nice sound system.
I love to be the passenger.
That is true. But that is the one drawback from not being able to drive high would be, it's nice. It's pretty sweet listening to some tunes. Other than that, though, you wouldn't want to waste the buzz on the stress nowadays.
Oh, it's 420. It's 420 over here.
No doubt.
Everybody better take a fucking dab hit with me.
Yeah, no doubt. 420, everyone. Every hour, 420 somewhere.
DC. It's 47% THC and 34% CBD. I love this strain.
Nice. Yeah, well then, with all the content pumped up like that, it won't take much, I bet. That's good. Yeah, I was doing a photo shoot today with presidential OG. I got to. I think we were talking about that a little bit. How before we crack open the bags, sometimes we got to stop and do the photo shoot first.
Yeah.
Really makes
I do that with my stuff.
makes the smoke session that much more special, I suppose. You know, it's waiting a little bit longer and anticipation builds, and you get to enjoy.
You know, you're so intently worried about how the picture looks that you're not thinking about the fact that you really need the smoke. Your mind's off of it because you got it right there in front of you and it's beautiful and you're taking these nice pictures of it. And then when you're all done, you're like, oh shit, I need to smoke.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I like documenting sometimes a smoke session too. Actually, yeah, I liked one of your pretty recent, I think, gifts you put up is you're smoking a what was that, a pen, a dabber pen?
Yeah, that's just a little. Well, you know, to me, it looks like a fucking old-fashioned crack pipe, if you ask me. But yeah, it's like
shooter.
Yeah, man. I mean, fuck, why ain't the crackhead smoking with this fucker? No,
the deluxe.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It's dabbing on the go. I can dab on the go. I can throw this bitch in my purse. I've broken many of them, but this one's been good to me lately. I think I want to buy a little or start making little knitting little sleeves. People can buy sleeves. I'm just kidding. Can you imagine me sitting there knitting?
Nice.
But yeah, you know.
Like a nice leather sheath, I can
things.
imagine. You slide in the leather sheath and button it up.
Even the silicone, even a nice little silicone koozie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
I think that would work for sure.
It's kind of like the iPhones. You just gotta find that standard size that everyone has, and then you can make like piles of them.
Yeah, that's this one that I have right here, and then all I need is a 3D printer, and we're made, man. Nobody copy our idea.
Yeah, no doubt. Trademark, copyright, can't do that. No doubt. You heard it first here, folks.
No.
Oh, actually, I better put up a little disclaimer real quick. I don't know why I thought of it now, but basically, this podcast for entertainment purposes and can curate Discord and GHRO. They don't have any responsibility for this. This is just Jacked Up talking smack with some friends in his THORSDAY SESHJUAN. All right, I got that out of the way. Don't try this at home, folks. Make sure you know your local laws. All right, that's good. sorry about that little interruption. But yeah, I'm a old school smoker. I've like when I saw your gift, honestly that was the first time I've ever seen a dabber pen. So like a dab, is that basically like oil, like honey oil, basically?
Yeah, you know the oil that you fill the cartridges with.
Yeah.
Like that kind of oil, the one that's already decarboxylated, you can applicate it by eating it, or you can rub it on your skin, or you can smoke it. I have the brand that I love is Silver State. Silver State makes a nice a consistency oil that you can dab, and so I just put it on a little flat silicone dish that I have, and I just which my shatter came in once, and it's just a really convenient little dish, and I just light my thing up and just beep like a little hummingbird.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that on one of your videos. It was like it looks almost like one of those little metal, like disposable kind of ashtrays, sort of. I mean, it's like about that size, little. Kind of silver thing.
The 70s shit. Who fucking uses those disposable ashtrays? Oh my god! And so you brought up the 70s. No, to me it looks like a makeup compact, like for mirror, for press powder, like the bottom half of it.
Ah, yeah. I don't see those too often.
Yeah, because
being a guy and all.
Canavatum makes them. They put their shatter in them.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So that dabber pen. So is it kind of? It basically has like a little hot element on there that you dip.
Titanium. Yeah.
Okay, so it's kind of like doing knives almost. I mean, basically, you're heating up your stuff, and then
it's almost just like dabbing, only you don't have to move your little spoon around, and you ain't got to knock over the rig or do nothing but smoke.
Yeah.
That's the best part.
Yeah, when I first came to
that big rig, I'll drop it.
Yeah. When I first came to Canada, I don't know, for like the first couple months. I don't know, it was just people, I was hanging out with old school people in Oshawa, but all I could find was oil. But it was like this black oil. They didn't process it real nicely. And so they tell me about doing bottle tokes and stuff. And I didn't care
that's
that stuff
probably the
much.
RSO.
It's like real old
RSO
school.
probably. Yeah.
They I think they cook it down to get it. So
you put it in a rice pot. what you do is you wash it with 100% alcohol, some kind of to wash the weed, and you sit there and you wash it like 3 or 4 times, and then you filter it and you filter it and you filter it, and you put that dark ass water in a rice pot, and you let it go, and the rice pot does the rest.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah, actually, I have. I think I have had. Yeah, I gotten some oil before. It kind of smelled a little bit like. I don't think they let it all evaporate off.
Yeah, these are more like designer oils. These are a little bit more like designer oils, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, 'cause the
grain alcohol. Yep, that's what it is. KOH. Grain alcohol. Yep. Everclear.
Okay. And then I think there's. And then for like golden oil, or I think it's called honey oil. For the honey oil, they'd use butane, I think, and the butane would bind, especially and come through.
That's what I think.
They wouldn't have to heat it.
I want to say it's butane and all that.
Kind of makes me think of like the difference between like olive oil and virgin olive oil. You know, like the olive oil has been heated, and like the honey oil. It's they might not do a heating process. I watched my buddy make some bubble hash the other day. That was pretty sweet and a lot easier than I thought.
How do they do that?
It's like you have these bags, and they have like they're filtered. They have filters on the bottom of them, like really small filters.
Okay.
And so you stack them in this thing, and the bottom filter trichomes don't go through, but then the rest of the filters above that trichomes do go through. So you put ice and all your shake and everything in there, like all your trimmings, maybe a couple small buds or whatever, and you put a bunch of ice, because you put ice in there because it like freezes the trichomes and it like shatters, so like the trichomes fall off the leaves that way. And he's always blending it all up with like a big cement kind of mixer on his drill, you know, or a paint mixer or whatever. And he kind of did that process. Then he let it set for like 40 minutes, and then he pulled out, you know, the top bag, and it was all just shaky, just threw over the fence. And so then progressively, as he pulled up each bag,
I would have loved to like just been there to see it.
Oh, it was awesome. I didn't realize it's so easy. Like I'm getting some bags for you know, this summer's harvest for sure. But yeah, each progressive bag, you got, you know, finer and finer quality bubble hash.
In my brain.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't look easy in my brain because I can't understand it. But I bet you if I saw it, I would be like, "Shit, man, you're right. That is."
Oh, totally. Yeah, I kicked myself for not taking pictures and videoing it the whole time, but I didn't know him super well. I didn't want to impose right away. But next time I will document that process for sure. If not my own.
For sure.
Before that, but yeah, I guess back to the dabs and all that. So you were one of your videos. You're talking about when you clean out some of the oil on the inside of it. Do you use that for like on your skin, kind of?
Yeah.
For
and believe it or not, you can smoke it too. If you're ever out of weed, that shit smokes just like the oil that you were smoking before. You know, like when you were young and you smoke flower and you're out of flower and you're like, fuck that shit, and you're scraping your bowl because you need weed. Yeah, it's almost the same it's almost the same concept, only the oil. Well, I collect that oil because I use Grim Young. I know. You're right. But I take it out. I sit there with a lighter, the torch, and I just kind of and all of the oil just drains out. It all just drains out onto my silicone dish, and I'll mix it in some like Jergens cream, and man, you know, not cream. It's not cream. It's like a salve. It's a different. It's not cream. It's more like a salve. Yeah, but Jergens makes it. Yeah, exactly. But you know what? You can even smoke it, and let me tell you, that shit gets you so fucking stoned.
Yeah, I bet.
Because it's the collection of everything.
I mean, even recently, kind of like Grim said about scraping the bowls. You know, we still do. Like a lot of times, I'll take a blunt wrap, and before I roll a blunt, I'll I got this little wire I stick through my one hitters and everything else, and coat that nice on the inside and toss some weed in there. It's a nice little sizzle. And it's good to have the bowls clean too. You know, nice clean hit. You don't want to stress out the lungs, of course.
You know, shit, I forgot what I was just going to say because my shit was clogged and I got mad and I forgot what I was going to say.
No doubt.
Damn it.
That's cool. Actually, I was just going to ask you something too, but then I forgot what I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Cool.
No, I passed it to you. It's the zombie virus. It starts here.
That's the trouble with smokers.
Look at the chat. Is everybody saying I don't know? Okay.
Yeah. I know on a lot of my shows, I got on my windows, I got notepad up, and I'm taking notes because I'll never remember my follow-up questions. I'll just breeze through. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, the salve, the rub salve.
Yes.
I was about to say coconut oil might might work well. It might be a little too runny when it gets warm though. Yeah, 'cause, yeah, you're down in warmer kind of area, and it's probably not as stiff. But coconut oil they use a lot for salves with beeswax. But it sounds like you got something that works well, so that's good.
Sorry, I had to
That's
tell
all
my
right.
kids to put the oven on 15 more minutes. I'm making Italian meatballs. I was making grilled cheeses so they could stop bothering me, but now I have
Nice.
the meatball. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah, when we were testing out the
I was
voice
supposed to make it
earlier.
yesterday. I didn't. I was lazy. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, when we were testing out voice earlier, I got a sneak peek at your delegation skills. Like definitely, you're letting
Oh
those
yeah.
kids, you're letting those kids know what to do, and it seems like they're going right to it. That's good.
Well, they know that they've been around me for so long. I would remember I was telling you I was in a bed for 2 years. So
Yep.
like they know almost like how to work around my disability. So that's why I tell them, hey, get me the frying pan ready, put the butter, put the cheese, 4
Okay.
pieces. I didn't have to move my arms around a whole lot, and I can just move it around for grilling them their food. Because when I move my arms a lot and start talking, I pass out.
Yep. Oh wow.
So
Yeah,
they help facilitate me.
yeah, it's good that it probably teaches, I mean, a good amount of responsibility too, that they're pitching in and helping like that. And it
I
just
got good
helps,
kids, man. I can't complain.
no doubt. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. So do you smoke a little bit? I guess you smoke for pain as well, or
Yeah, I smoked. I started smoking when I was 13, and then
Yep.
before I got pregnant with my daughter, I had quit. And then
Yep.
I didn't smoke again till, once or twice there in between that it made me sick and it gave me anxiety, so I stayed away from it. It wasn't until I was in pain and, they put me on those pain pills and man, they wreck you. Those things are nasty. I don't know how
Oh
people
yeah.
take them things. So I started smoking again. But this
Yep.
time I got my medical license so that I can get look, I wanted to be like a kid in a candy shop. I wanted that
Oh, for
experience.
sure.
I wanted the designer weed,
Yeah,
So, but
definitely.
the first year that Nevada had legalized marijuana, I think it was the number was Medicare Part D or something, saved $470 million.
Oh wow. Huh?
Look how many old people are getting away from free drugs to buy marijuana. Look how many of
Yeah.
them are that. You see what I'm saying? So it goes to show you
Oh
how
yeah.
much these pain pills fucking suck.
Yeah, and like definitely the quality of life. I mean, if you're not feeling right in your head and stuff, and if they're making people tired or whatever else, it's just it's
Well, it's no
senseless.
fun if I'm vomiting the whole time or if I'm
Yeah.
nausea or if I'm a little stoned because they do make me loopy.
Yeah.
But the weed doesn't do that. And the one thing the weed does more than anything, it makes your attitude towards the pain different. It
Oh
changes your
yeah. The
attitude towards the
outlook.
pain.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's huge. Having
Mhm.
not feeling down and stuff. That's helps a lot for healing for sure.
Yep.
Big connection with most people kind of know that. It's pretty well accepted between feelings and the health of someone. They're so interconnected. Even down to just thoughts, some thinking,
Mhm.
well, obviously, yeah, some thinking the negative thoughts and stuff that it brings down the system a little bit, for sure.
It really does. The thing that I probably learned the most because I spent a long time in a bed and this house was quiet and dark and I had a lot of time and all I did was listen. And let me tell you, everything's alive and everything, coincidences are not coincidences. I learned so much in the silence. And I
Yeah.
learned how much, your mind over matter. All them tricky sayings, mind over matter, every one of those little things our parents told us, every single one of them are freaking true, man. Every single one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, for sure. Yeah, a lot of the old sayings, and when you kind of look into the meanings a bit, it's
Yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of see a lot of
I'm
truth in
really
them.
into etymology, the study of words. I love that, and sociology. Those are my two favorite subjects.
Yep. Yeah, the words. Yeah, I find myself doing a lot just for fun. I'll think about a word and kind of start to break it down in my head, and it kind of
Yeah,
brings
words are tricky.
yeah, it brings a lot deeper meaning to the word. Sometimes you're like, okay, it's like
Fuck, it brings it down to plain text. It's right in front of us. Bam, smacked in our face. Government. They're governing the mental status of who? The people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's right there in front of our faces. I mean, and it goes so much deeper. But you know, it's just nuts. Something got a hold of society and shifted the paradigm in our government, and everything changed somewhere around Eisenhower, Kennedy, because Kennedy was trying to warn everybody about it and say something about, you know, the rich families and how they were, you know, they were trying to tell everybody that people were very complex industry, whatever, I can't even say it right. But, and now, you know, we've got all these weird conspiracies that people, you know, that at first make fun of everybody for saying it's true, but then they turn out to be fucking true.
Oh,
Everything that's been a myth is coming true.
Yes, true.
The mythological city. Oh, why? It was mythological because you didn't have the evidence. Now we have the evidence. You're going to say it's true. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like they wait, you know, it seems like they wait 15, 20 years till the next generation. So then it's like people just don't bother
and
going back.
Every generation they refine. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say. I was done.
Every generation they refine things, everything. Products, everything, the way that they teach us. And it's like they give us things cheaper. And it gets worse and cheaper version and cheaper. And it's like people are all falling for these funny words like faux marble and faux this. Bitch, they're taking away all your copper. They're taking away all your porcelain. They're taking away everything from us slowly. And our dumb asses are there in front of our phones with what gimmicks? Beep, 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 being distracted.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it. Everybody's guilty of it. You know?
It's kind of like that unseen inflation, you know? Like,
yeah.
You know, instead of getting the leather couch, now your money only buys the faux leather couch. So yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
But it's like the words, kind of like you're saying. That was another word I remember someone talking about earlier. Was you know, you talk about TVs, you know, and they call it programming. You know, as far as what's going to be playing.
Of course. You know why?
You know, programming
television.
Yeah.
Television is story vision. Tell live vision. Tell lies vision. Story.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucked up?
Yeah, it's total programming.
And programming. Sure. What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, it's lots of, they like to put it right in people's faces, no doubt.
I know.
Actually, one of kind of as far as unspoken histories and things like that. Well, you posted recently on Smoke.io about basically it's kind of like one of the stories they had found about little hobbit kind of sized people. And
man.
And I checked that out, and actually, it's even smaller than hobbit size. They're like barely
it's 12, 14 inches.
Yeah, it's like under your knees kind of height. It's just
that's a fucking gnome.
That would be wild.
That's a fucking gnome.
Yeah, exactly.
That's David the gnome.
Garden gnome for sure. And that's like,
oh my God.
I mean, if that's authentic, that'd just be crazy if you could imagine, you know.
No, they authenticated it. The Museum of Natural History. No, they did. They found more than just one. Do you know they covered all that up? Oh my gosh, they really cover up so much history of this country. They do. Oh my God.
Well, imagine what's in the Smithsonian.
Yes, them too. There's something else, right?
You can only imagine what they stored away in there, and just the warehouse is full of hidden.
Gosh, who knows what they? No, they probably got rid of it, burned the evidence.
Yeah. Maybe. But I know I've heard a lot about you know, the giants and whatnot. You know, the skeletons they found and here and there and news reports of it. But then you know they just kind of disappear at the Smithsonian. Yeah. Yeah, I can believe it.
You know, there was a person buried in the Nevada desert. There was a case, and I'm going to look into it. I'll tag you if I do a video on it. There was they found in 1932. Dinosaur bones on the same level where human bones were.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I've heard some too where they've done some like well digging, you know, like way down there.
No, it was out in the desert valley.
Oh, okay.
Death Valley. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was telling RYOB. Yeah, sorry. Fuck.
Yeah, Death Valley. You ever been through
Canada's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's cold, but it's it's beautiful and it's not cold or humid. But A lot of open country. That's like
So
the cool thing.
it's humid
In
there.
the summertime. Yeah, it gets real humid where I'm at.
Well, Florida, nothing's more humid than Florida. Oh my God. You know what? Why did I
Yeah.
pick? I'm born in a tropical jungle, like, tropical state, Florida, okay?
Yeah.
And I
so
decided to
swampy.
move across the entire fucking country to a place that is the exact opposite of what my native. It's like taking iguana and putting it in the desert. No wonder I'm dying out.
Yeah.
I need some humidity.
Yeah, it's dry, huh? That dry heat. Actually,
Yeah.
Grim knows about that dry heat. I think he's down in
Look, it feels like when you
Arizona.
open the oven, that's what it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it feels like.
Well, I remember New Mexico was I don't know, it was like it felt warm, and then when I got in the shade, it wasn't too bad. But I was just mostly getting used to the elevation when I was there. It was higher elevation. Got drunk way easier. Just felt like a real weird feeling.
Really?
Yeah, because you're at like the foot of the Rockies.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you ever go to Albuquerque, it's like at least from Michigan, it's enough of a altitude change.
My
where
dad worked at energy facilities there in like the 40s or 50s.
Oh yeah.
My dad was in World War II, super old.
Oh no
He's
doubt.
still alive.
Yeah. Well, it's good you didn't get caught
looks
up in
like a
any of the
fucking
testing. Yeah. Well, like an eye patch?
No, he's just old as fuck. When I think of pirates, I think of like old ass fucking, like he's old, man. Like he's rough. Like pirates are always all broken and shit. Like my dad,
Oh yeah.
He's got COPD.
Yeah. I remember talking about pirates. I remember I don't know, random thought. I remember this one documentary I watched, and it's about like that there's that one commercial, the world's most interesting man. It was for like some beer or something like that. And so this was about the real guy, And like the guy was like I don't know, 6'8", and like he went up to the North Pole like twice, and like he had done like this and that.
Oh
Yeah,
he accomplished so much more than just being a commercial Dos Equis dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like one of his legs was a fake leg, and like I think he was missing a couple of fingers or something. But yeah. It made me think about when he said, he's got his, broken parts and stuff.
Yeah.
And,
He's just old, man. He's been through life. He's tired. He's just old.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, thing, time keeps on ticking. Oh well.
Bro, if you give that guy new lungs, he's so stubborn. He would live. That old man, like he doesn't want to die. His body's just giving out. Just imagine.
Yeah.
Being 90 years old.
Well, that's a huge thing. Yeah, you gotta wanna.
He's in good spirits and stuff like that.
Yeah. So it seems like it seems like a lot of times when people retire, it's like a big handful of them shortly after they pass away, just because just bored to death.
No
I guess.
movement.
Lost purpose in life or whatever it is.
Yes, don't say that, because when I moved away, that's when my dad went downhill. My dad used to drive. The minute I moved away, he just started going downhill.
Oh no. Ah well.
Yeah, it was horrible. My kids, he used to help me watch my kids on the weekends, and they used to keep him running, boy. And he would, my kids now that they're older, they tell me, I was like, what did Opa used to feed you? Did you give them was crackers, ramen noodles, and cookies? And he would tell me that they ate so good. They ate, and my dad, he's so hilarious. He really is.
Yeah, it's another.
I got the munchies.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, I had. Geez, what was it I had the other day? It was I think it was Trainwreck. Yeah, Trainwreck. That gave me big time munchies. It was Wait, no, I take it back. It wasn't Trainwreck. Trainwreck was the opposite of munchies. That I like sailed through lunch and wasn't even thinking about it. But there was a Trainwreck. Ah, well. Yeah, there was one though that I got like super munchies from it. Oh, MK Ultra. Speaking of mind control, the MK Ultra strain. That one, that one gave me big time munchies. It was like 3 hours later.
I've never tried that one.
Food. No, it was good. It was,
lung butter.
It's not too bad. Lung butter. Real nice, Grim.
No, I just don't want to know.
Wonder if you can smoke it. Can you smoke that? or can you rub it on your skin?
Oh,
Oh
no! Stop it!
He's something.
I just see him coughing up mucus. Okay.
Don't.
People starting an internet challenge and shit. Now stop it. And there'll be a fucking everybody be doing internet challenge videos. Did you see what's going on with that blind bird or blind box and a bird? What's that movie? They're doing the blind bird challenge. Bird box, whatever.
No.
I don't know. Bird box. Now people are walking around with blindfolds and they're getting hit by cars and shit like idiots.
Oh Jesus!
What's wrong with society?
Yeah, actually, I saw that movie.
Wrong?
It's not too bad of a movie, but one of the scenes they made their way to the grocery store, and so they did an SUV with like GPS and like it would detect when the objects were around it. So they just drove through after they put newspaper in all the windows and like they're running over bodies
What the hell?
they're running over bodies like crunch. He's like, oh, speed bump. But yeah, that's crazy. People are doing that stuff. Yeah, the deal with that, they couldn't go outside without a blindfold on, or else like the evil spirits would make them.
Bro, there was this family. They had a baby that was probably, imagine a little baby, like maybe 3 months into walking really good and everything. The whole family, the baby, the dad was holding the little baby, walking maybe about 16, maybe almost 2 years old. Okay, and then the mother, they were all blindfolded. Okay, and they're walking all together blindfolded. The mom and the dad fit through the hallway. The kid goes bam right into the fucking wall. That poor kid might have lost his. Like why would you do that to your kid? Hit the fucking wall.
Yeah,
why don't you hit the wall?
Yeah, don't carry the kid playing that game. That's ridiculous.
Oh God.
Well, I guess the Pokemon too. I guess Pokemon. A lot of people back in the day were having trouble walking out in the traffic and
falling off the Grand Canyon. Just
getting mugged. Walking
mugged, yeah.
Yeah, in the wrong neighborhood searching for Pokemon.
Everybody already knows that. It's not when that little app came out. Everybody already knew the dangers of GPS and everybody knows that, and everybody fell for that game.
Yeah.
Do you know how many pedophiles jumped on that shit?
No,
people don't think today. I swear, they just don't.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
I did not let my kids. I said, nope.
They got a Pokemon hiding in the free candy van. Brutal. Don't do it.
Pikachu's in the middle of the Grand Canyon. That's Pikachu. It's the golden one. Yeah.
Pikachu. Actually, whenever I hear Pikachu, I always think of that Valentine's Day greeting. Pikachu, I choose you. I always think of that whenever I hear Pikachu. I don't know why.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
That's cute. Hey, where the fuck did my shit go?
I think it must have been when my stepson was in grade school. I think must have had those.
Tangerine haze.
Oh, nice.
Tangerine haze, cured resin. That's gonna be nice. I hope it takes away my munchies.
Oh yeah. Dial it in. No.
I can't do no more munchies.
So how'd you find Smoke.io? How'd you learn about that?
I've been on Steam It now for almost a year, and I saw it on Steam It, but I thought it was still Steam It. I didn't really understand what the dApps were, and I didn't understand all of that stuff, and I'm still learning. You see what I'm saying? But as soon as I found out it was its own thing, that's where I need to be posting some of my shit.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's kind
so
of.
I do DTube because they're my video streaming platform of choice, and I just do my stuff. I do some weed tube sometimes. Whenever I've already uploaded a video that day for DTube, let's say I'll use a weed tube or Vimeo or something like that. But I'm recording and I also videos about the mummy or the codex or this painting by Ford Madox Brown, just different things.
Oh yeah,
nerdy things, I guess you can say.
You actually had one of your recent videos. Actually, it was photos, I think, of the petroglyphs, the Nazi tribe. So what's that about?
They don't know too much about them other than they were peaceful That's all they wrote on there.
Yep.
I think they were alien because it's, you know, over 1,200 years ago.
Yep.
It was
Yeah,
up that high because they had canoes.
okay.
That's how they had that. That all there was that. That's a valley. It's a big wash where we were at. So if you were standing there, all of that would have been underwater. Anywhere you see sand like that, that was an ocean. That was all underwater. It's just when you're there, you realize how this world really is, and you start to have these, you know, literally, like, especially if you're stoned and you're one of those feeler type people that I am, you start to literally just put yourself like in the Wild Wild West times, or, you know, you can do some of your best thinking out. And I mean, it's just Mother Nature. When I go out there, I'll take off my shoes and walk barefoot. Like, I love nature. I feel so good when I get away for a little while. And I hate coming back, but I love modern conveniences, you know?
Yeah.
But that place there, the petroglyphs were just some they don't know anything other than they put them there. And the tribe, that's all they know, or all they'll tell us, you know?
Yeah.
Those little houses that were there were actually put up by some of the pioneer people in the early 1900s when they first settled the area, and then like they used them as little ranger things for a little while until they, you know, moved up. And but they're neat little brick houses. And man, you know, that the thing about sandstone is that whenever you have sandstone, if you want to have a warm room, you can keep the heat in. But when it's really hot out, you can literally walk into a sandstone enclosure and it will drop by 25 degrees, guarantee. So, you know, the natives and everybody, they were smart to use that. And back then they had just like the little huts there had just like, little fire pits, and that's it.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's houses out there. People used to live out there. It gets hot. But if you're smart, a lot of the pioneers are smart. They live closer to like Lake Mead or the Colorado, you know, to where, you know, they had that nice little lake breeze. And it's just a really cool, you know, everything came this way because of the gold. You know, that's why this whole area was booming, just because of settlers and gold, you know?
Yep.
So
the way they're built and kind of how you talk about the climate control with them, it reminds me a lot of Earth homes. I mean, Earth ships. Kind of like the it's just kind of like a hippie off-grid kind of thing where it's basically like you have all the south-facing windows and then a lot of mass like rock and stuff on the inside, and then so similar kind of thing. Basically, year-round, it kind of maintains on its own. You know, it maintains a decent temperature in there.
Huh. Interesting.
But yeah, that reminds me of a lot of that.
Volkswagen, they just had a lawsuit over in Puebla, Mexico, because 5,000 acres of their crops were ruined, and they were blaming Volkswagen. Why? Because Volkswagen had this, because the Volkswagen dealership had these cannons that would shoot supersonic frequencies into the sky. Precipitation, because in 2008 they lost billions of dollars because of hailstorms. So they used these cannons to stop the rain. Because of the rain, it ruined 5,000. Yes. Now let me ask you something. What kind of country are we living in where Volkswagen has to choose what the weather will be? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's right in front of our faces.
Well, with the colonies and stuff like that, definitely a lot of countries been taken advantage of, you know, in multiple ways. Yeah, it seems like this weather kind of control is, you know, just another way where they people get the raw end of the deal on it for sure. Yeah, it's like the carbon tax. You know, the carbon tax is a bunch of baloney. They got that in Canada, and
what is that?
You know, it's just basically, and Trump said no, which is good for him. It has to do with the whole fake climate control, like the climate change or whatever, you know. And so basically, carbon tax it's just another tax they throw on top, and they say it's to save the planet. But basically,
they're really they're secretly funding wars and and doing other instead.
And not so secretly. But yeah, kind of like my thing though is like if carbon was a problem, then there's so many other things that they're not even talking about. You know, like industrial pollution. You know, polluting the land and the
Oh, fuck
rivers and
yeah.
the lakes and the air and like everything.
All the shit they're
and they're
causing,
worried
and they're
about
trying to blame it
carbon.
on our fucking can of, yeah, I
You
know
know,
what you mean. They're trying to blame it on us.
I mean, again, like people have, have heated homes for thousands and thousands of years, with wood fire, and volcanoes have been burning for ever since, the Earth's been around. So I don't think carbon.
I just did a video about an underground city. And you know what I want to know? There are some really great, elaborate underground cities. They found one not too long ago over here on the West Coast, Nevada, California, like all that area. They had a bowling alley. They had everything in there. What I want to know, these ancients, they had these underground civilizations that you could breathe. They had water. They had special like gates for the herds of cows to come in and out. Okay, and everything was smartly built in a natural way. Now our country knows about this natural way. Why do they choose the fucked up way?
Well, it's so the
because I don't mind living underground if it was clean.
Yeah,
I know, well, it's just really fucked up.
Yeah, well, just like kind of like the building. I want to live in the rock. Just like the the building structures they make now, they're just like very inefficient. I mean, it's nice to throw insulation in there, but there's so much better ways to build homes, so they're more efficient and take less energy to keep conditioned.
Oh yeah, and the stuff that they make to build the houses with gets cheaper quality because every 10 years, they reinvent something, tieback or whatever, it's going to get a little skinnier. It's like literally everything gets cheaper every 10 years.
Yeah, it's that inflation. Yeah, it's like servings too, like remember, like the like mini thins or whatever, they're like the little super thinny little bag of cookie things. And it's like they sell it as less calories, but really it's just less product for the same money.
It's just the cookies cut down.
More. Yeah, it's just
eat the other cookies, but only have one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
mean? No.
Yes, the pyramids are giant batteries. I agree.
Oh yeah, big power generators. It seems. I mean, it's got the insulated coating on the outside.
You look at the world from up in a plane, and we look like one big computer chip. We don't look any different than the inside of a computer.
That's true.
We really don't. We're just life just replicating itself. We just don't understand it because we think we're so big, but we're very small.
Yeah. I know a lot of the pyramids and a lot of the megalith structures, like just that they just don't have those building techniques anymore, So it's
Nope.
I definitely can see that there's been many past lost civilizations and over thousands and thousands of years, but they just tell us this one form of history.
God knows how many times. I think that this earth is like a clock. I think every 12,000 years it pops, and I think this earth is ready to pop in the next 130 years. And if it doesn't go off earlier, I really think about it. You got all of your megalithics on this equatorial kind of line, right?
Yeah.
And then it all follows this one line, but if there's another set that follow a different line, when you trace that one, and the ones they intersect exactly at Ecuador. Ecuador means like intersection and crossing, and that's where it crosses. You don't think that was planned? That shit was planned.
Oh yeah.
They know. Like we only know bits and pieces. You see what I'm saying?
Well, like a lot of the kind of the temple places, like in South America and Central America, like let's say the Aztecs, they would just build on an even more ancient, like more impressive megalith temple, and they were, and they knew right where to put them, kind of like you're saying, right along those the Earth's energy lines. It's been great talking with you, and
you too.
Definitely have you on sometime again. We're
all right, man.
Getting close to the end of the show here. I'll I guess do my little sign out here. So if you want to go ahead and meet yourself, we'll talk to you soon, huh?
All right, bye.
Yep. See you. Yeah, everyone. So that was a pretty nice video. You can find her on smoke.io and also over on steemit.com. Make sure you go check her out. Give her some upvotes, some comments.
Okay, guys, I'm done. You guys done your chores?
She's handling her kids.
Are you guys done with your chores?
Yep, we are. Yeah, and we're closing out the show, and we're on Can Curate Discord. It is a GHRO. Make sure you tune in for all the other great shows they have on here. And yeah, it's been great. We'll catch y'all next week, and here on the Can Curate Discord as well. See y'all.